Okay, we got Polkadot here. So has not done much since I last looked at it. Pretty flat, but overall still bearish. Way below this moving average. Broke this area here. Now it's staying below it. So actually looking for a short position when it comes back up to this area here. If it rejects this area again, then looking to short it. The only thing is there's some conflicting factors here with Polkadot. So yes, if price broke this area and has now stayed below, but also when it came to this area, you had this big bullish engulfing candle here, and it's made some supports here. So kind of have to be considerate of those as well, that this lower liquidity zone has risen. So we'll see what price does. I mean, it's the weekend, it's not really moving much, but we'll see what price does at this area. I would like for price to break this zone here, because then you could consider something like this, but also you have all these wicks here. So Polkadot for me is kind of probably got to just stay out of it for a bit on either side, whether it comes up to this area or it comes down to this area and breaks it. I mean, there's just too many, there's too much conflicting data, just in the sense that like there's a ton of support here at the bottom here, and then it brought this liquidity zone up to this area now. So your liquidity area is with these wicks, but then you got this area here where price came up, and then you got a nice bearish engulfing candle here. So like on from here you had bullish engulfing, and then from here you had bearish engulfing, and then you have essentially a higher low here. So technically I would be more inclined to buy this and think that it's going to break this area upwards, just based on this recent close here kind of thing. So you can see price rejected, and then broke with this candle, came down, and now is holding and supporting this area right at 5. I believe it's like right at $5. So that's actually a very good point as well. So if price is holding at a whole number, it might might want to go up. So we'll just mark this in here. We just know it's $5 right here. Oh, that's really tough to see. I'll move it to the bottom. So yeah, as of right now, I mean, it's really iffy, guys, because you don't know which direction it wants to go. It doesn't even know. So if you're looking at all the data, which is what I like to do, and then form a decision. So we can see that price is below the moving average on the daily, so that tells me it's more bearish than it is bullish. It has made more recent lows based on this structure. You can see broke and then broke. So I would still, no matter what, be leaning more to the downside. Price is way below on this 4-hour moving average as well, so I mean that's more, I'm going to be more inclined to sell this, but price is above on the 1-hour moving average. So if price breaks below the 1-hour moving average and holds, then I think you're still more, you're definitely be better off just selling this. But whether you sell it at this zone or this zone, don't know yet. I think you'd still be better off shorting this. But as of right now, because price seems to be getting bought up every time it goes below $5, because it keeps getting bought up, I would be looking to short it at this area. And nothing below it, just because it's been bought up. And then even if even below this zone before with all these wicks, it was not breaking. So I mean, this area, there's a huge area of support here. So you had this one previously, and now you have this new one here. So anytime price is creating higher liquidity zones, I mean that means price is pushing up. So and buyers are more likely, so originally they were buying it only once price came down to $4.95. Now they're buying it when price comes down to 5. So eventually it's going to be $5.05 and whatnot. So we'll just see if there's enough buying pressure, enough buyers in the market to really push this up. What could happen is this zone gets pushed, and then eventually gets broken. So I mean, that could happen. We don't know. I'm going to just wait and see what price does once it gets back up to this zone. If it starts rejecting above, 506, we'll say 507. So once price gets above 507, if it starts rejecting, then then I'd be looking for a short position. As far as a target, I mean, you don't really have a good target. You have these zones, but who's to say price is going to break these zones? It needs a lot of liquidity and a lot of volume to do it as well. So that's kind of against you. There's just not, the volume just doesn't really exist in the market. And you can just see like it's really having a tough time even breaking this zone. So to form an adequate trade entry and position overall is difficult because you just have these zones. So like this is, you're looking at like, this is your most recent possible trade right here. So you're looking at like a 3 to 4R, you know, at best, and like that's just not great. I mean, I can't really bank on price break in these areas because it's, you know, it's creating higher liquidity areas too. So I mean, this might not even be a good sell overall. So that's kind of where I'm at, guys. I'm kind of conflicted with Polkadot. I don't. I would have to just wait for a lot more price action to either, you know, break these zones and tell me that it wants to go down. I need some big candles. I mean, if you look at how big these candles used to be versus now, like, you know, that's not great. Like, I just need more. I need more from it. So that's what I'm waiting on. You know, if price comes up to 507 and it starts rejecting, maybe I'll look for a short entry. Just kind of a temporary one, you know, and shoot for these bottom zones here, this zone or this zone. Then, you know, maybe. Then I could do that. I'd be happy with that if everything aligned. You know, if price broke below this moving out, or let's say price comes up, touches this zone, and then starts rejecting, and let's say this moving average catches up and then price breaks below that moving average, then that I might be considering a short position. But until then, there's nothing, and there's just not enough reward in it for me to take something when I can take other trades on, you know, other pairs. There's tons of them. Cryptos, cryptocurrencies, forex pairs, those are obviously my favorite and most ideal. And then even stocks. So lots of things to trade for me personally. So I wouldn't take any trade unless price comes up to 507 and rejects, then I might consider it. But other than that, there's nothing for me. So that is DOT.